Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Ogre Battle on March of the Black Queen. In our last episode, we found some termites, courtesy of a monk, that allowed Orpheus' army to destroy the walls that were surrounding Castle Zenobia. That allowed our ground units to start assaulting the enemy base in the city, but it also allowed the Imperials to release their own ground forces. So, thankfully, there was just slightly more than half the amount of ground forces compared to their air forces. There was 15 air force units. Now there's only 8 ground units. So, and we took care of 3 of them in the last episode. So all the remaining ground units, they're already on the map. So they rushed right at us. So it's a good thing that we had all our units ready to attack once the walls came crumbling down. So luckily it wasn't like the biblical story in Jericho where they had to march around the city for 7 days blowing the horns and screaming. We just had to find some termites. So I don't know how termites take down stone walls. At least the walls looked like they were stone because they were gray. But I don't know. They must have been hungry termites because they ate all the walls, not only just around the city, but also around the city where we found Ash, the knight who used to be the head of the Zenobian army. But he was framed for executing the king and his family. Well, we found out that it was actually Prince Gars who was disguised as Ash thanks to Rashidi's black magic. Gars is going to become a very important villain in this game, and we're going to run into him in the next area. So, but they do a little bit of foreshadowing there that there's another guy out there who we got to be careful of, got to watch out for. So, not probably the best unit to fight these golems, the rock golems. See, they're black, unlike our regular golem, which is like a brownish. So that's how you can tell if it's a rock golem or a regular golem. And then the iron golem is silver. So that's how you can tell the golems apart. So we got our own rock golem with Ash's unit. And Ash's unit should be making its way up toward our area here. We want to have Ash's unit confront the boss because we get some special dialogue. So, nope. Should have put it on weak so we could have took care of that golem in the front, but yeah. I think our worm still has an attack and he has pretty high strength. Let's see if he takes it out. Nope. But the ninja will finish it off. Alright, that takes out most of their firepower, because the golem in the back row doesn't have as many attacks as the one in the front row, so you see how good magic is against the golems there. So that physical unit that we had with the Valkyries wasn't doing much damage. Sure, we had the one acid attack from the Doll Mage, but remember, acid is a physical element attack, so that's why it didn't do much damage against the golem. And our witch didn't do any stunning against this enemy group. Darn. That would have just made it a nice win. But we're still doing some good damage. Yeah, the golem is the only one that they can hit right now, because if that dragon was in the back row, it could use its flame breath, but thankfully it's in the front row, so it's only going to attack our golem, and like I said, golems have pretty good physical resistance, so just got to be careful because all those ground units are so close to the enemy base that if we take out their leaders, they'll be able to retreat real quickly, so that could be a problem here. So thankfully that our princess has given all our characters that extra attack, so the beauties of having that princess. So let's see, hopefully we can take this guy out here. You don't want it retreating, so see the Beastmaster's massive strength there. And woohoo, we finally took it out. So you saw the dragons also in the back row there. They had that flame attack, so that's why they were able to attack our princess in the back row. We got an int. That is an item that we can use to increase the intelligence of one of our units. Might be good to use on your opinion leader, in our case Orpheus, because remember, tarot cards do damage based on the stats of your opinion leader. So, and each of those tarot cards have certain elements to them. So, like Magician right there is a fire element. The Devil card does black magic. It's based on your strength. Chariot does physical damage based on the strength stat of your leader. Tower does physical damage based on the strength. Hermit does electrical damage based on your opinion leader's intelligence. Judgment does white magic based on your opinion leader's intelligence. Magician does fire based on intelligence, and Justice does ice. So we basically get all the 6 elements, and you actually have two physicals, the Chariot and Tower. So if you know what element an enemy is weak to, you can use the appropriate tarot card. So, and you can find that out by looking up enemy stats on, like, say, game FAQs, or if you just like pay attention to the spell that your wizard or like ninja is using against an enemy. So, still got those pesky samurai units. There's 2 of them, 2 of the cleric units, 2 of the dragoon, and dragon units, and 2 of the wizard units. We've taken out 1 of every type of unit except for the samurai unit. So, let's see. We don't have too many cards here, so I'm wondering if we should. We'll use 1 up here. So that is some ice damage. So just mainly looking to speed things up a little bit here. So figured I'd get some decent damage, try to get some damage on these guys, because the Golem, like just did there, is going to miss often because the ninjas have pretty high agility and Golems have low agility, so chances are they will miss often. We're able to switch our tactics there to the weak. That allowed us to take out the samurai. Samurais have decent agility, but not as good growth as the ninjas, so once again, we used our tower card at the beginning of the fight. I know I stressed it in some other episodes, but you want to use the tower cards basically at the beginning of the fight so that the tower card doesn't defeat the enemies, because any enemy defeated by the tower card, the experience for that enemy is going to go to your opinion leader. And that could, unfortunately, overlevel your opinion leader. And remember what we were told way back at the beginning of the game in one of the first few cities that we liberated, that, you know, nobody likes a bully, you know, and if you get too high of a level, it could affect your reputation. Even though you're fighting for, you know, the freedom of the people, they still cheer the underdog. So, surprisingly, did some decent damage there with the Valkyrie there on the Golem. I was hoping that we'd, well, I didn't want that to happen. Definitely didn't want the cleric to be defeated. Hoping that just we can hit the cleric enough that, the next time it healed, she would heal herself rather than the golem. Because it's much easier to take hit points off the cleric, because cleric, being a spellcaster, has pretty bad resistance to physical attacks, but luckily it got pushed back to this unit here, which has some pretty good magic attacks, with the ninja and the imp both being able to magic attack, and the worm in the front has really high strength. So, alright, only 2 more units to go, and then Kaus Debonair up there. Can't see his stats, but we know it's him because several cities mentioned that the Empress Endora, the leader of the Highlands, sent one of her 4 Devas out to stop the rebellion right here. So, I guess that she was getting scared. She saw all the success we had in the area. Maybe Mage Rashidi had something to do with it too, because we did take out one of his 3 apprentices, Capella, in the Pilgrim Forest. So maybe he was a little angry that we took out one of his apprentices. So, but whatever the case, we know what we have to do. Finish out these ground units and heal ourselves up. So, tactics as always is going to be, we're going to just try to heal up as much as our characters as we can. And then we're going to basically Zerg rush the leader. So, apparently Zerg rushing comes from StarCraft. They're apparently a race that you can play in that game. And their overwhelming tactics is to just rush at you. So, never played the game, but I've heard people describe it and heard that term, Zerg rushing, be used by other people. There's a charisma. We'll just hold that off in reserve. That's good in case, because sometimes, a lot of times when we're manipulating alignment, charisma will drop much faster than alignment. And so you'll be stuck with, hey, you'll get your character finally to the point where it has the correct alignment to promote to a new class, but it doesn't have the charisma, so we'll just save that for in case we run into one of those situations. So, but like that intelligence, it does raise character stats. So, now there was an item that you can get sometimes called the Merchant. It's very rare, but you can get it as a drop from certain enemies for defeating a certain unit. Like I said, what you get after battle and what you even get for hidden treasure and items when you liberate temples is totally random. So if you're following along, playing along, you might not get the same items in, you know, buried treasure or when liberating temples. So it's random, but one of the items you can get is the Merchant, and the Merchant will allow you to buy those stat increasing items. You get hit point, strength, intelligence, charisma, and alignment. You get those 5, but they're really, really expensive. So if you're looking to boost stats, it's probably best to just wait until you know, the end of the game or near game when you have a whole bunch of money to blow on stat ups. So, and there we've taken out all the rest of the Imperial ground forces. So now we just heal ourselves up, and we'll probably want to wait until morning. So usually enemy leaders fight worse in the morning because they tend to have that lower alignment. Now we were told that Debonair is kind of a straight shooter. He's more of a kind of a high neutral alignment. So, hey, hello Debonair, it's been a long time. The Highlanders are supposed to be a race of proud warriors, but look at you. You've all become just a bunch of assassins. Where's your pride as a warrior? And why do you think a great general like yourself has been sent to a place like this? Endora's just trying to keep you out of her hair. Think about it. Shut up! I was sent here to stop you. Sent here to stop the fools who are trying to disturb the peace. Disturb the peace? Look at this place. What was once the greatest city in the world is now nothing but a slum. Is this the perfect world you've dreamed of? Is this what Endora wants? Stop talking about Her Highness that way. Very well, we'll just have to show you another way. I wonder if Ash might have been from the Highlands. He seems to know Debonair, so maybe he came from the Highlands. And a lot of times he was referred to in that one city. Ash was as a barbarian, even though his class is a knight. And it seems like that's kind of like a slang term that people use against people from the Highlands. They call them barbarians. So, I don't know. But, yeah, they don't really give not too much history on Ash, and he kind of disappears, where some of our other characters will feature in future games. So, for instance, Gilbert will be in Ogre Battle 64, Canopus, Lands, and Warren are all in Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together. So many of the special characters that we get, including some that we haven't gotten yet, will make appearances in future Ogre battles. But maybe they didn't do that with Ash because, you know, I mean, he's obviously kind of old, I guess. I mean, he was in prison for 20-some years, and he was probably already, if he was already the commander of the Royal Knights back in King Grand, back, 25 years ago. He was probably, probably older as is, because you obviously got to be in the army for quite some time to rise to a position that high. So, it's not like so he's probably an older man, just like he said, old man waiting to die. But hopefully, we'll be able to overthrow the Empire and let him live out the rest of his life in retirement. So, but we actually will be letting him somewhat retire here, I guess you could say, because like any other special character, we will not be using him. Because special characters tend to have, much better, stats, and it just makes the game a little bit easier. Also, another thing with that is, all the special characters have, like, special kind of palettes. Like, you see Ash, when we saw him there real quickly, he had red armor. So, but if, like, we promoted him to, a paladin, you just have the generic paladin armor. Same for Lance. Lance has like a darker gray armor compared to other knights, which is like a lighter silver armor. We change him to a paladin, and then we change him back to a knight. He'd lose that uniqueness to his sprite. So, yeah, all special characters have a unique palette, a unique sprite color to them. So, we'll keep that sprite color on them. So, Princess Unit is probably going to be one of the ones we're going to send up, because, like I said, it gets those extra attacks. So we're going to move our equipment around. There's that Elder Bracelet. That's really good, like I said, for Golems, because it gives a lot of resistances. So, Mystic Veil. Whenever you see the pluses, that gives the plus to that actual resistance. Then there's some other ones that will actually give like some negatives. Usually it's like elemental. So like an ice shield will give you plus to, say, your ice resistance, but it'll make you have less resistance to your fire. So elemental shields can be good, or elemental armor can be good if you have a character who has really high resistance in one stat and really poor resistance in another. So, like, for instance, a lot of times what I'll be doing is I'll be putting like black armor or black elemental armor on my clerics, because clerics have really poor resistance to black magic, but they have good resistance to white magic. Well, black elemental armor, I must congratulate you for making it this far. It's not too late. I will spare your lives if you surrender to me. If not, I will destroy you for the sake of the honor of the Highlands. Don't be fools. Surrender to me now. We say no, of course. We get into a fight. So, but yeah, the black armor will lower the cleric's resistance to white magic, but it will increase their resistance to the black magic, so it makes them more kind of even. So it, I guess what you say, flatten the bell curve, so it pulls things from both extremes, pulls them closer toward the center. Unfortunately, we don't have any moon cards here to get rid of those dragons, so hopefully though we have let's see, we will have 3 single targeting attacks with the wizard, and then 4 multi-targeting attacks with the princess and the doll mage, so we'll have 7 magical attacks in total. Hopefully some of them will get through to Debonair there. We're just doing a quick retreat because if we had our other characters go, they might have killed those dragons, and we want to kill the dragons and still have a few physical attacks left, because the boss never moves. So if you just defeat his henchmen that are hanging out with him, what'll end up happening is when you retreat, unless you instantly attack him, what's going to happen is he'll get new fresh minions, new fresh, you know, lackeys or support units with him. So we'll swap out the 2 injured knights with the 2 knights that are fully healthy in Ash's unit, and we'll give transfer over those weapons. If you want to remove a weapon from a character, I know I mentioned this earlier in a long ago episode, you just go to your item menu, go to equip item, go to a blank item spot, and then you're basically equipping the blank item onto the character, and then that removes the item that's currently equipped, and then that weapon of course will then go back into your inventory. So now Debonair has some pretty high agility, so this is where it's good with tarot cards, because tarot cards, you know, they never miss. So if you went to that one city earlier that has Joker cards for sale, you could buy a whole bunch of Joker cards, pull the Joker cards, and get a whole bunch of direct damage cards to deal with Debonair. I didn't think that Magician would defeat that one dragon. Red dragons, naturally, because they're fire elemental, have resistance to fire. Magician is a fire element card, so didn't think it would take too much damage, but it did just enough to defeat it, so didn't defeat the other one, so Orpheus is going to get that experience for that one red dragon, but it's okay. It allowed our knights to have a clear access to Debonair, so Debonair has one more attack left, a Sonic Blade attack, and I thought it was magical, but it turns out it's physical, like the Iron Nuki, so I used that card because I was afraid that he might target one of the knights in the front, but looks like his AI, I found out, was too strong, so he went after our doll mage in the back, so boo, didn't help, but that's okay. So speaking of tarot cards, we're running out of options here, so I'm going to use the Emperor card here just to finish him off. He's so low on hit points, and unfortunately our knights are missing so much. Like I said, it's really sad that our, you know, they have such high agility. This would be a good time if we had a star card. So star card would have helped nice, but thankfully our wizard came through and took out Debonair, but even though we defeated him, we did not kill him. I can't believe I've lost. Empress Endora has changed. She's not like she once was. I'm willing to die for the sake of my Empress, but I will not die for an imposter. It seems there was something I should have done before fighting with the rebels. I am forced by honor to admit defeat for now. We'll meet again, gentlemen. And he flees. We will run into Debonair again. But maybe he may change his mind. Maybe he'll see, like what we said, that, you know, the Empress has changed, so he seems like an honorable type guy. Who knows, maybe we can get him to defect and join the rebellion. Quite a few rebels in the Star Wars trilogy came from the Empire. They defected. Alright, well, like normally, we're gonna head back into the slums of Zenobia here to talk with the newly liberated folks and see what they can tell us. Get some items. Now, we recruited Lion the Beast Man while we were in the stage for 20,000 Goth. You don't have to recruit him. You can recruit him now. Your reputation will not necessarily go up just because you did the right thing. The right thing to do isn't necessarily what the people want. But what goes around comes around. Always do the right thing, and you will always be rewarded. And I guess that might be in case you did this before you did Deneb's Garden. So, like I said, the people wanted her to be brought to justice, but maybe, executing somebody who, not necessarily the right thing to do. But as I was saying with Lion, if you don't recruit him while you're fighting the stage, if you come back after the stage is liberated, you can hire him again in the same city, but for 25% of the cost for only 5,000 Goth. It seems there are even people within the Empire who aren't happy with Endor. Most of them tend to drift to the outer fringes of the Empire. I wonder if Debonair was one of them. Once again, setting that, the seeds that, he may defect to the rebellion later. So, will he? Well, you'll just have to keep watching this to find out. Let's go visit this temple where we hung out. We did a lot of hanging out here, healing. All people made by the gods are equal. The Emperor has forgotten that and cannot be forgiven for it. You must destroy the evil ones in the name of the gods. Well, I know somebody who's not evil. All the minions at Marty Mouse House. That's who, We intend to work together to restore Zenobia to its former glory. You must have a lot of work ahead of you because, like I said, it's now a giant slum, so... Hopefully, since we've driven out the Imperial forces, you can get to work on that right away. But yeah, Orpheus is named after one of the minions' pets who passed away, and it's at the Rainbow Bridge right now. I heard that the Empress Endor's first prince, the Black Knight Gars, is on the island of Avalon. Avalon is just a neutral territory of temples and monks. I'm afraid that he's come to take control of the Roshian temples. We heard about Gars in this city that we're going to liberate right now. He was disguised as Ash through Rashidi's black magic, and he was the one who actually executed the royal family. I was hired as a nurse in the house of Zenobia. On the day that the family was massacred, I was able to smuggle one of the children out of town. The child was King's grand eldest son, Prince Tristan. Please find Prince Tristan for me. Only he can lead the continent after the Empire has been destroyed. Or were you planning on ruling yourself? No! I'm glad to see that your goal is in power. The prince should be on the island of Avalon. If you find him, please give him this. It's the key of destiny, the symbol of succession to the throne of Zenobia. The key. And that is an item that we will need if we want to get Prince Tristan to join our party. So, like I said, the king's family was massacred 25 years ago when the Empire took over the continent. So, he was just a young boy then, but now he's a grown man. Looks like he's seeking revenge. Maybe we'll find him in Island Avalon. Thanks to you, the Empire has left Zenobia. Please hurry up and destroy the Empire so we can rebuild our world. Well, looks like we know where we have to go next. The Island Avalon. We're forced to go there because that's the only place that we can go. When we get back to the world map, you'll see that, so... We intend to work together to restore Zenobia to its former glory. Well, that's good. We're helping unify at least the people in this area. We just have two more cities and a temple to visit. The Empire is gone, but who will help the people who live in the slums? The monks. They'll set up charities. Have you thought of that? Of course not. Yeah, we have. After all, you're just a bunch of warmongers. That's not true. Orpheus is gonna have yogi lines and give snacks to the folks. We intend to work together to restore Zenobia to its former glory. See? All the monks are saying they were gonna work together, so we'll let the monks do their charity, and then people's tithes and stuff can help the monks, pay for the charity and help restore things. So, force is required for anything you want to get done. Love, justice. Ha, words for children. The world can only exist through force. What do you think? Well, I think that you're wrong. I think you're oversimplifying things. So, but One thing that's simple is our choice of where we go next. As I said, there's only one place for us to go. Island Avalon. That's where we're going to head in our next episode. Take care. Have a good day. Bye.